Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Today we're going to cover a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for the last few days because it has been officially only launched in the last few days, and that is, of course, the Inter Under 23 team. So that's going to be today's topic of the video. So make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Inter Under 23. It's a reality. It seemed for a while. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Are Italian bureaucracy getting in the way of things? Do Inter, Oak Tree actually going to invest money into this? But they've pulled it through. It's happened. It's official. And they picked a very simple name, official name, under 23. Juve have the Juventus Next Gen. Milan is called Milan Futuro. Inter kept it simple. Inter under 23 team does what it says on the tin, right? Can't mistake. And here, is the official statement from Inter a few days back on Friday, announcing the launch of the under 23 team, and Stefano Vecchi will be the head coach of the team. And this team will play the first home game at the U Power Stadium in Monza. So that will be the official stadium for the team. Thanks to Monza sharing the stadium with us. Of course, Monza, if you don't know, very close to Milano, the city of Milano. So logistically, it makes sense, and it's a proper stadium, proper pitch. So good result overall. And the first friendly was against Torino on Sunday. If you didn't watch it, it was a 2-2 result for the under 23 team. And they will be taking part in Serie C, in the Italian Serie C, the third tier of professional men's football in Italy. And as per Inter, this is a strategic and highly valuable project designed to closely support the development of young talents from the youth sector by providing them with an additional developmental path. Vecchi will be the coach with proven experience, deep understanding of Nerazzurri. And if you don't know, Vecchi led Inter's Primavera between 2014 and 18, winning 2 Primavera Scudetti, 2 Viareggio Cups, 1 Coppa Italia Primavera, and the Primavera Supercoppa. And if I remember correctly, did he not take part in the Banter? Did he not take charge of like one game or a couple of games of this first of the senior team as well? But anyway, he's actually, he's a proper coach. Since he left the Primavera, he's been coaching in the lower divisions of Italy. We talked about the stadium, and if you actually want to see them in action, you'll see them soon in a friendly against the Inter senior team. So Kivu's Inter will face off. It will be on the 3rd of August, which was that Sunday? 3rd of August. Yeah, Sunday, 3rd of August. You will get to see Piano Gentile behind closed doors, a family affair friendly between Stefano Vecchi's under 23s and Christian Kivu's men's. And if you're interested in, the calendar for this under 23 team, this is what a little bit what it looks like. Inter will be kicking off the season against Novara. Some of you will remember Novara from that Gasperini, that beginning of the Banter era Gasperini season, where Novara beat us, right? If I remember correctly, one of those initial Gasperini games where he was in charge for only a few games, tried 3 at the back, and it was an absolute disaster. So that is where Inter kick off away their campaign in Serie C. And well, let's get back to what is the aim really of this under 23 team. Marotta talks about it in that official statement. They've talked about it. Is that path for the under 23s? There are some rules and regulations, so it's not just under 23. So let me give you an example. So if I pull up the regulations for Juventus's next gen team, I'm sure they apply also for Inter. So Inter's under 23 will be playing in the same professional league system as the senior team, rather than a separate league dedicated for youth team, which is what the issue was. The step up between adult football, so going from youth football to adult football is too much. So this is supposed to be, I'm not going to say it's halfway between that, but at least it's a step between youth football and men's football, or top level men's football. Serie C, of course, the quality and the level isn't that high. The pitches, the turfs are not that high. The facilities, the style of play is going to be different. You have people that are maybe even part-timers. The tactics level might not be as high, but the physicality, the intensity, the competition at least gets to a much higher level to help these players develop. But anyway, in terms of rules, so this reserve team may not play, so it can never, if you're asking in your head, you might think, oh, what if these guys keep getting promoted from Serie C to Serie B to Serie A? That can't happen. Even if they get promoted, they can't play in the same division. They will be ineligible for promotion, and the reserve team must play in the league immediately below. I don't know if this applies to Inter, but I imagine so. They have to pay an annual extraordinary fee of 1.2 million to have the reserve team registered to Serie C, and they can't partake in the Lega Pro assembly, so they can't have a say in what goes on in their league. They may insert a maximum of 23 players in their team sheets, and only 4 players aged more than 23 when the season has started may be inserted in the team sheet. So it is under 23, but they can have some more experienced guys in there to fill up and help with some experience, and up to a maximum of 7 players who had been registered to a FIGC affiliated club for less than 7 sporting seasons may be included in the match list. And in order to be eligible for the next gen, players must not have been registered to the 25, so they can't be part of the Serie A list of players, and must not have played more than 60 matches in Serie A. So Inter can't say, I don't know, or the reserve team is struggling, so we just send Mkhitaryan there. That's not possible. Instead, to be eligible to play in promotion playoffs and relegation playouts, players must not have played over 25 first-team league matches of at least 30 minutes. So there's in the playoffs and the relegation playouts, there's a little bit more leeway in these kind of crucial matches, but again, still quite strict. Not more than 25 league matches that have been part of more than 30 minutes. So again, proper first-team players can't be just called into the reserve team. If a player is suspended, he is unusable in both the first and reserve teams. Suspensions must be served in the team with whom he committed the infraction. And yeah, Juventus's the next gen team has actually got relegated and they couldn't even register. But now the reserve teams are also eligible to play in Serie D, which is good because Milan's Futuro team also suffer the same fate. And this is the thing, following their relegation, as you can see here, they will compete in Serie D from this season. So this is the thing. It's not a guaranteed success, and that's especially as the team itself, as the under 23 teams, we shouldn't, when we look at their results this season, of course we don't want them to get relegated, but it's not really about them winning games or trying to get promoted to Serie B. If anything, they shouldn't try to get promoted to Serie B, because then the Inter will probably have to put more resources into that team and spend more. But it could be beneficial to get promoted to Serie B team, but it's not really realistic. This team is made to help the youth players who are now too young or too old or just too good for the youth team to get some experience. So let me give you some examples again, going back to the Juve team and the Milan team. So look at the Juve from under 23, 2018 to 2022. You see this lineup: 2020 Coppa Italia Serie C final. Some of the players there: Frabotta, who is now plays at West Brom. I didn't even know that, actually, down the road from me in Birmingham. Fagioli, we know about Fagioli, of course, the boy who was at the Euros, because Spalletti, for some reason, wanted to call him up, even though he was suspended for most of the season with his betting betting ban. Hamza Rafi, I think he plays for Lecce, right? So again, that's just a quick snapshot from a 2020 team of 3 players that were able to make the step up into good level now. Fagioli, Rafia, Rabotta. And then if we go down to kind of the notable names, you're gonna start to see some really interesting ones. Mattia Sule, Barrenechea, Connie, the Winter, of course, Inter fans, who these guys are now, right now, right? Especially Connie the Winter, we're heavily linked with him. Samuel Iling Jr. Some of these, you could say, some of these actually are not developed directly from Juve. Like some of them, Juve bought already when they were, developed, let's say, and then they're part of the youth team, let's say. But proper examples: Hans Nicolucci Caviglia. Let's see how many appearances did he have. Look at that, 14 appearances for Juve next gen. So he had more appearances for the next gen than the actual Juve team. Radu Dragusin, Tottenham defender, 30 million plus signing, 10 appearances for Juventus under 23. Dean Huijsen. Dean Huijsen, of course, the now Real Madrid centre back, 27 appearances for Juventus next gen before he was loaned to Roma and then Bournemouth. Kenan Yildiz, let's see how many appearances did he have. Kadat, 14 and 2 goals. So definitely has helped these players. To see how many appearances Miretti had. 30 appearances. So really, you had a proper season down in Serie C with proper adults playing. So definitely it was beneficial to all these players I've mentioned in some way or some shape. And that is the hope for Inter. I mean, if you have a quick look at Milan's one, I don't think theirs has been as successful at the moment. Nothing's come out of, there's not even a notable player section here, but Mattia Liberali is definitely one of the big talents from Milan. Chaka Traore, Divock Origi was registered here. Geez. Ibrahimovic's son. I know that also they registered here he is, Torriani, the goalkeeper, who's a big talent. Camarda, that's the guy I was thinking of. They registered Camarda last season because he wasn't getting much minutes for the first team. So this is what we should look towards this team and towards Stefano Vecchi, who actually looks like he looks like a Acerbi, right? This is like a Acerbi without a mustache, a little bit older, a little bit better looking, in my opinion. This is the backroom staff: Stefano Vecchi, the head coach; Danesi, assistant; Barbujan, technical coach; Ciullini, fitness coach; Bezzi, fitness coach; Castelli, goalkeeping coach; Toninato, and Costiglio, the match analyst. So small staff. But yeah, the focus for Vecchi will be to bring through some players. And now let's have a look which players we should be looking out for and focusing on if you are going to tune in to this team this season. And again, there are the transfer window is also open for this team, so there will be some changes. Some people have left, some people will be going. Some players I will say are already too good for this level, or they should be aiming, and the agents will probably push them to find better situations. Like, let me give you an example: Christos Alexeu. He had an appearance for the senior team last season, if you remember. Very brief, but he was the captain of the Primavera team. He looks like a solid centre back already at his age, valued at 800k here. I think he is already too good. Fontana Rosa, I think he's probably, by the looks of it, maybe this is actually his real level, Serie C, maybe Serie B. Stabile, I remember, was a big kind of promising name a few years back. He's back from his loan from, where was he? Alcione, Milano. Matteo Cocchi, definitely. He, I think, should try to get a better situation. He's already valued at 1.5 million. Lovely left-footed talent, left back / left wing back. Mike Idu, the little guy that got an appearance for us last season, if you guys remember. Thomas Berenbrook, for sure. I would definitely try to get this guy at least Serie B or somewhere abroad, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands. Definitely at 20 years of age, I think he deserves better. Topalovic as well, very, very talented guy. He scored the other day from outside the box, as he often does. But of course, you want to keep some quality as well, so you don't want to give out all the players away. And then I'm not going to act like I know too much about the other guys. I know Daniele Quieto is actually, I think Venezuela are even trying to call him up to the senior team, if I remember. So there's definitely some talent there. But yeah, I think there are some guys in there that are probably too good for this level, or I would already say they're not going to benefit from playing at this level. They need to be playing at a better level already. But you can see we've made some signings as well. Giuseppe Presti, a 31-year-old, so adding some experience in there. Paolo Raimondi, we signed a goalkeeper. We signed this Melgrati, 31-year-old goalkeeper. So adding some experience in there to help these youngsters out. And I'm sure there might be some more incomings and outgoings. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. You let me know in the comments down below. Are there any players? Are you going to tune in to these games? I don't actually know how and if we can tune into these Serie C games, but definitely I'm going to try to catch the highlights if I can. and keep an eye out for how the team is performing, how the players are performing. But yeah, you guys let me know. Are you going to watch it? Which players are you looking out for? Which players are too good for this under 21, 123 team? Um, and yeah, what's your thoughts and feelings on it? I am happy that finally this is happening. This is going ahead. I think most big Serie A teams should be having this. I don't agree with the controversy. Was okay at some level. I agree that maybe the said for Serie C team. If you think about it, from these teams like Inter, Atalanta, Milan, Juve just bought their way into Serie C, whereas these teams having to fight their way there. And I get that point, but at the end of the day, it's about the development of these young players and hopefully also helping the Italian national team development. So overall, fantastic news. Looking forward to watching these guys. Hopefully they do well, and hopefully we see some of these guys in the main team, right, guys? That is the whole point. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter and Forza under 23 Inter.